You look at the guy. Who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
No matter what coverage was called, They were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the gun, it's Rosen. He gets it to Brown, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. This one fielded at the 5. Ooh, what a move. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself something to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like? So much.
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
On first down, Carr is going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Again, it's Carr. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. They'll run on first down. Scott down right around the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down, here's Carr. That is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down in the hands of the wrong team.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for it.
Here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off right around the 43. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Joey Bosa in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Go, go. Get set, get set.
Carr to throw on second down. And this will be incomplete. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Monday, down. Blue 80.
On play action, it's Carr. And he fires one, but incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on fourth down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach have already made that decision.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Here comes Josh Rosen and the Cardinals offense back onto the field. On one hand, as we look at some of his struggles with the 3 interceptions, he's got to be upset. On the other hand, they're still winning this game.
So how does he take care of them?
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Set. 3-19.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Rosen to throw on third down. He's going to float it. He's got a man. Complete. He's at the 30. 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Robert Woods, 93 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. High five, baby. High five. Let's go. Tight cover 0.
Now a play fake. Carr. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timeout.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Well, here's something you don't see too often. They're 0 for 2 converting these in the opening quarter, but they're trying a 3rd time here on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Carr. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. Now, Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys that can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. Picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room to the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a 1st down.
Here's Carr. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers get a score closer. Hauschko with the extra point. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 up. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. That one good for 33 and a 1st. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And across the chalk into the end zone is a 49er touchdown. Boston Scott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers are back within a score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
To throw is Rosen. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. You never want to give up a sack. And from the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now Rosen. And the pressure gets to him again.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Rosen will throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, Scott. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
To throw is Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And Robinson with a big catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
On third down, Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts? Come on. What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea. In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up first and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Perry able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game.
And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Rosen looking to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now it's Rosen. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break, all square. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Carr. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Melvin Ingram in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Here we go now! Green!
Third and long here for Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss it open field.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
6:37.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, hands,
speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Here's Carr to throw. And Graham's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
29.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Joey Bosa getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Such a highly touted product out of Ohio State. Bosa has not disappointed in the NFL.
Not even close. Rookie of the year his first season. 12.5 sacks and a Pro Bowl his 2nd season. What's next for this guy? I say the sky's the limit, and you know how much he loves pass rushing. Even swaps moves with the opposition post-game, always trying to get better.
Finds his target. It's Bellamy. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Boston Scott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers have moved down in front. Well, he's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Now Rosen on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. They'll run with Scott. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Carr. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he slides to avoid the hit. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the 1st.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On On second down now, Scott. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The Niners on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Carr. And it's caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Boston Scott, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rosen on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there. And, boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They go again with Scott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they...
And now here is another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Carr going to throw, and completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they work this out past the 25. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
They'll run on first down. Scott in a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. On play action, it's Carr. And left side here, it's Graham. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
He'll get it up the middle. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll give it to him up the middle. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Boston Scott taking it in from 4 yards out. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in about in time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to...
Back onto the field comes the offense as we zero in on Josh Rosen. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey. Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Rosen. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. They get the penalty yardage back plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. On second down, Rosen complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Buster Screen. Try to get it to Woods. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drop.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get down, get down. 185.
Carr going to throw here. And incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Big series right here. You got to step it up.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the 49er hands team does its job. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll keep it on the ground. Scott. And he gets it down to the 32. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Scott, room here to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott. And stacked a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for San Francisco, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.